Okay. I know a lot of you are either on worship teams or leading worship teams or part of church teams, whatever. And we're all trying we're here to learn. And maybe you've seen some stuff that we've done. You're like, how do we do that? So today's going to be pretty practical. For those of you who just want to be on teams, leading teams, or in church team dynamics where you've got maybe someone in charge of you that you don't like, and you're trying to figure out how this all works. And so, we're going to start. Me and Jen and I were just on a trip, San Diego? Which one? That's San Diego? And it was so cool because I hadn't been out in quite a while, and there was a bunch of bands there leading worship, and every band that was there had musicians that were here at one point, kind of on our team. We've been doing this for 25 years, and then even the sound guys and the backstage, and then one guy that was kind of in charge of managing the whole thing, and he was with us for a few years. It was just fun to sit back and kind of go see the fruit, you know. And a lot of times we think we're building this right here, we're building just this, and if anyone leaves this, that's a huge problem, right? We're building teams, and we can kind of, we think if people leave this thing that we're building, they're being disloyal, they're leaving it's bad, but we're really learning through the years that that's actually been one of the best things that's happened as a result of what we've done here. And, you know, sometimes we can, as leaders, we get a vision from God, we get a heart after God, we get a vision for God, and we want to build something for God. And we have this idea of what that's supposed to look like, and maybe it's supposed to look like that for a season, but God's plans are always bigger than ours. And so if we can be open-minded as we're growing in this, what you start today might morph into something totally different 25 years from now. And as long as you don't stand in the way, you'll be good. And let God do what he wants to do. So we're seeing a lot of fruit that we really didn't expect now, 25 years later. And it's really cool, and it's the two things in my life that I think I feel the most fulfillment from in ministry would be seeing the people who've been in this environment over the last 25 years that took advantage of the moment of the years that they were here, and they stewarded really well. And then they've gone out or are still here, but they created something out of it. And then also, how many write songs in here? So a lot of you write songs. It's amazing.
What did he ask?
I always joke with these guys. Today, I was like just chilling until they sang my song. My hands you know that's true. You know you do that. You worship a little more than your song. A lot. So, but the fulfillment I get, fulfilling that call as a songwriter, when I write a song, you know, and you blood, sweat, and tears, and you work it, and then you get it to across the finish line, and then maybe someone else sings it on your worship team besides you. And you get to sit there and listen, and then you hear the church singing it, and that, for me, like, that's such a fulfilling feeling. So those two things in what we do are like some of the things that really make me, I don't know, go to bed at night going, okay, we did our job, right? And so everything I share today I would hope that you would take with you, and you would get to a sweet spot where you're like, you go to bed at night and you feel like, okay, I did what I'm supposed to do. I did my job. I didn't get in the way of you, Lord, and I did my job. Let's pray real quick. That's like probably my number one passion is that the last 10%, that 10% push that you do at the end, to get it to where it's like a good song or even a great song to like a God song. And you kind of can't make that stuff up. And that happens by work. Hello? By digging and changing it and trying it again. And in our case, we get up and a lot of times we'll lead a song where we feel like it's good enough to lead, but we know it's not finished. And we'll get up and we'll lead it, and then usually on the spot we'll kind of know, okay, here's what we need to do to it. Because when you bring to the people, you hear God's people sing it, it's a great mirror, it's a great reflection of like, okay, if this is going to be a song for God's people to sing together and not just my song, I'm going to need to make some tweaks. And that's that last 10% but if we apply that to life as well, you will exceed, you'll stand head and shoulders above your peers. You know, there's verses in the Bible, he is excellent at what he does, he'll stand before kings. So I would hope that you leave the school with a little more inspiration, not a push, but more inspiring. And, you know, I like to follow people that I'm inspired by. I actually am repulsed by people that are trying to get me to follow them, but I love following people that I'm inspired by, that are doing hard things, that are doing stuff that I know is like not convenient, but they're, you know, sometimes I'll get on YouTube like before a workout because I don't feel like working out, and I'll watch. There you are again. How's it going? What's your name? Ken. Hey, Ken. They'll do like a 200-mile race in 60 hours. And by seeing that extreme, it helps me go, okay, I can get up and work out for now. So I'm inspired by people that do hard things. Let's look through my notes, see here where I'm going to start. I shared this last year, but I want to start here. A couple years ago, we were in Israel, and you ever have, like, for me, I feel like the Lord speaks to me when I'm in that half-asleep state. It's like right when I'm about to get up, and I feel like I'm awake, but I'm not awake, and in my dream, I was saying this phrase over and over and over until I finally woke myself up, and you know, and it was still coming out of my mouth as I woke up. It's really cool. And I love that because you can't make that stuff up, and you know, like, this is the Lord. Like, for me, I don't, I guess I have a hard time believing that something is the Lord because I've heard that this is the Lord by so many people where it's not the Lord. So for me, I really appreciate when, like, God speaks to me through a dream or something where I know, like, I can't make that. I can't think that up. And so here's the phrase I woke up saying. The highlight of my life is bringing me praise. The highlight of my life is bringing me praise. And I said over when I woke up saying it. And the feeling that I had on that phrase was it wasn't just my personal expression of praise, but this is the key, and this is the key for all of us. It's not just about our personal expression of praise, but it's about being a part of a structure, being a part of planning, setting up, and helping others bring praise to Him. So the highlight of my life is bringing you praise, Lord. For His kingdom, not ours. And a lot of times we mistake the two, like, we mistake the two by thinking we're building a kingdom for ourselves, and we think it's for the Lord, but it's really for our own glory. But the highlight of bringing Him praise is setting up structures so everyone around us can benefit and bring their song. David valued praise so much, he established a dedicated space for the Ark of the Covenant in Jerusalem. We know this, surrounding it with continuous round-the-clock worship led by musicians and singers. This wasn't just a temporary arrangement. It was a central part of his kingdom's governance and a reflection of his understanding of God's presence and his desire for praise. In 1 Chronicles 23, 2 through 5, a lot of us know this and have studied this, but David valued praise so much so that when he became king, you know, we know his story. He was a kid with a heart, he became a fighter, and then he became king. And every season of life, he brought praise with him. And that's a testimony to us. No matter what season of life you're in, bring praise with you. You never graduate out of praise. You never get old enough, you never get mature enough to graduate out of praise. And childlike praise, really. It's the innocence part of praise. It's like, I'm going to praise you, Lord, no matter what. I'm going to praise you before the fact. I don't know what I'm doing, praise. First Chronicles 23, 2-5. David assembled all the leaders of Israel and the priests and the Levites. The Levites, 30 years old and upward, were numbered, and the total was 38,000 men. 24,000 of these, David said, shall have charge of the work in the house of the Lord. 6,000 shall be officers and judges. 4,000 gatekeepers, and 4,000 shall offer praises to the Lord with the instruments that I have made for praise. And I love that he said that I have made for praise. So he had a little bit of pride in there. that I have made for praise. It was such a value to him that he literally set up the structure. He had a round table and board meetings and did all the Excel sheets and did all the work to create a structure and to manage a group of people to bring praise to God. And that's what we're supposed to do. We're not supposed to just be lone rangers with our hearts in the woods. Now, if you're young, that's cool. As you grow, it is unto something else. It's just not I don't believe, praise is personal. Yes, we need to have our personal expression to God, and we need to have a quiet time when one sees. But like David, stepping stones where he built a structure so everyone could enjoy the presence of God. This is what we've tried to do, Jen and I, for the 25 years that we're celebrating now. It's kind of crazy. 25 years is a long time. For 25 years. But a few years ago, I had like a kind of a tough season. Well, no, not a tough season. Let's be real. I had a tough season, and the temptation to not lay praise aside, to lay it down, but like to have it where it's not like the highlight or the focus of my life. Because I was like, I've been doing worship in the evening, and I've been doing this thing called praise, and my voice feels tired, and I just, maybe my season's kind of, changing. And so obviously that dream I had was a real reminder that this isn't a season. This is it. This is your life. This is what we do. Yeah. And and it didn't mean, this is what was cool about it, because when you have a dream and then you have a feeling that comes with it? I love that. The Holy Spirit's like, because it's not just literal, there's a feeling. And it was like, it doesn't mean that the things that you're doing, all the new ventures and all the new opportunities, it doesn't mean that those are wrong. It just means they're not the highlight. So David became king. Being a king is amazing. Doing all that stuff, but the highlight of his life was praise still. Yeah. So we can do all sorts of things. We can create business. We can do all the things we have in our heart. Because God says that. Whatever's in your heart, you'll be following. He'll give you those desires. But if praise is still the highlight, those desires will have a place of safety. And it won't consume you. And you won't fall out. Jen and I have always wanted the best for people. We've made it really a point to share the stage, to not get in the way of what God wanted to do. We noticed that Solomon was picked for the people because of God's people. Leaders are picked for the people. A lot of times, as a leader, you think the people are for me, but really it's the opposite. You're there to help God's people. And so with that, no strings attached. When we're leading, I don't even honestly, and this could be like a wound in me, but I don't even like hearing the word leader anymore. And I'm going to be real. Here's why. Because I think that we really abused that word in business and in church. Because there's a lot of pain that's associated with it. How many of you have like maybe some leader pain? Yeah. Or you're a leader. I'm reading the book right now, and it says there's like two. Now, I'm going to go somewhere with this, don't worry. There's two kinds of people in the world, those who like to dominate others and those who don't like to be dominated. And also, people that like to lead others, and then other people, this is where I fit, and probably most of you. I want to lead so that those that like to dominate won't lead me. You know what I'm saying? The only reason I'm up here leading, and the team knows this, the only reason. I'm not up here leading because I'm like, I want to lead people, I want to be in charge of people. Because I don't want someone up here that wants to be in charge of people in this spot. Because it won't work. We gotta be generous. We can't have strings attached. We can't hoard. We can't hoard. We gotta be open-handed. We gotta be, like, man, we gotta eat humility for breakfast. Speaking of eating breakfast, my parents had foster kids. Remember this? 2 sets of foster kids when we were growing up, and it's such a sad. It's so sad. People make sense, right? Two of these boys we had, they used to. Now, correct me if I'm wrong. I could just be making this up. We'll see. They used to hoard their food. Dinner time, they hoard their food. And it was like, like animals, they fight over their food, they're hoarding their food, and we're sitting there like, what kind of behavior is this? This is weird. And the reason is because when they were punished, they didn't get fed. So they're hoarding, they're doing this, mine, that seagull, what's that movie, mine, they're hoarding. If we're going to be managing or leading God's people, every ounce of that has to be wrung out of us first. Mine, hoarding. And a lot of times we hoard because we're like, this is all I'm going to get. So in those boys' case, this is all I'm going to get, and I don't know how long I'm going to eat after this, so I'm going to grab what I can get now, right? And we do this. It sounds ridiculous, but we all have done this. I'm going to grab all I can get right now because I don't know if I'm going to get any more. I did a business class once, and a friend of ours said, we need to have the mindset where when a boss or a parent or someone in charge of us doesn't like our idea, it's okay because you've got 40 more ideas to back that one up. We need to have the mindset, guys, we serve a God who created the